Good evening. Good evening.
All
Hey
right.
guys, as usual, you're on tonight with Tiger Talk with some Clemson gentlemen. I'm Freddie. Y'all all know Craig by now. I'm sure y'all know Jeff. And we've got two special guests tonight. We got Greg Buckner and Harold Jameson, two of the Clemson greats, in my opinion. I think a couple other guys on here would think that too, or would say that too. But we're gonna let them give a little bit of a some background on what they've got going on in life and stuff like that before we get started talking our normal Clemson sports. So
And I
let
want
you
to
start out,
preempt
bro.
this real. Hey, let me
Go ahead.
preempt this real quick because I knew Coach over here, Coach Buckner. Now it's kind of ironic. Buck is coaching for the Bucks. I like that. But hey, that's some good stuff. But I know he's probably going to be modest. But just from what I can remember, ACC Rookie of the Year as a freshman. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Coach, you led the team in scoring all 4 years that you were
Yeah,
at
you're right.
Clemson.
You're right. You're not mistaken. You're 100% correct.
And let's see, you're drafted in the second round. Also,
Yep.
50,
Now
58.
that number I can't remember for sure.
We
It
can,
was definitely in the 50s. But I'm almost 50 now, so that's a long time ago. I know
that's
I was
right.
disappointed to getting drafted that late, but it worked out well
Yep,
for me.
that's right. That's right.
Hey, 50 is a
Uh,
good number, man. 50
Yeah.
and over. I'm just going to say
ball
it.
player, and then we got Harold Jameson, aka Big O. That's the man that's would clear the way for hit some of those shots. You see, he was,
Yeah.
and you see in that picture there, Coach is up high above him, and Big O is over there. He's getting ready to clap for him.
Yeah.
That typical.
he made the pass. He made the pass. Yeah. They call that the dunk.
There you go. Hey,
He's
he
at
got
home
the
calling it
assist
the
on that one.
assist. Yeah, he's calling it the
Yeah,
assist.
that's right. That's right.
Look here, it
That's
will
right.
go
Of course,
down in Clemson
Big
folklore history.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure. That was a great
That's
night
right.
for us. Absolutely. Great
yeah.
night.
You got in
That's
football,
right.
you
And
got the catch
Big
and
O
the
played at
catch
Clemson.
too. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Big O played at Clemson for 4 years. He is a rebounding machine. Played
Yeah.
some professional balls at home and overseas. And I know Harold personally, good a guys you'd ever want to meet. And
Yeah,
he's
for
from right
sure.
up the road from where we are. And both these are good guys. But we're looking forward
Yeah,
to having a great show. So thank y'all so much for coming on. But
yeah.
Coach, let you go first. Kind of you can update us on where your life is now. Quick little bio.
Yeah, well, I really want to thank you three gentlemen for having us. I mean, it's an honor, especially to be on here with my guy Big O. I mean, Big O was the muscle. He was my enforcer, my protector. He didn't let too
Oh
much
yeah.
happen to myself and Boogie when we was there. So it's just such a great honor to be on your podcast tonight. I appreciate that. As far as myself, coaching right now, I've been I'm not sure, but I think this is my 15th year coaching in the NBA. I took 2 years off from playing, did a couple years in TV, then started coaching, I started a AAU program back in Dallas and kind of got some kids interested in basketball. So I was doing that for a while and coaching. And as my son got in high school, I wanted to rip and run with him a little bit. So kind of got away from the AAU world a little bit as of the last, 3 or 4 summers. But just enjoying life, enjoying coaching, and supporting our Tigers like always, and really have a vested interest now with my son being there on the basketball team.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, Ace, look here. It's so awesome to see Buckner on the back
Yeah.
of that jersey again, man.
Look here. I told Greg the other
And
day whenever I was talking to him when we were talking about this podcast. I told him, I said, "Man, look here. I was there for the South Carolina game, and just seeing that number 21, and he just reminds me a lot of Greg. It was
yeah.
took me back into the day, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I spent a lot of time with him. He's a way more skilled than I ever could have thought about being at that time, and and has the same competitive edge I had when I was a youngster. He has a little more charisma than I ever could think about having back then. So the Clemson faithful just keep supporting those guys, keep supporting him, because he has a chance to be way better than I ever could have thought about being in college, for sure.
Has some tough shoes to fill.
Yeah, and that's why he chose Clemson. One of the main reasons he wanted to. He's been a Tiger his whole life. I brainwashed him from the time he came out of his mom's belly.
There you go.
So that's really the only school he wanted to go to, and he
I think that's all of us.
Games. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he would go to games, football and basketball, when they would have reunions, and I would go back, and he would go back, and he just fell in love with it, fell in love with Coach and that staff, and he's really enjoying it and just trying to make his own path. And I'm hopefully one day they can throw his jersey up there and then be 221s up there.
Hey,
there you go.
Awesome.
Hey, that would
all right, big
yeah,
right,
put a lot of pressure on him. Put some pressure on him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Digo, what you up to these days, my man?
Oh man! First of all, thank you guys for having me on tonight. Always a pleasure. To be with the next teammate, a good brother, considered a lifelong brother, Greg Buckner.
For sure.
Probably one of the best that ever did it at Clemson. And Jeff, Craig, you guys, again, thank you. Right now, I currently have my own store with Mavis Tires and Brakes. I'm out here in Atlanta, which is not too far from what I call quote unquote home, which is Clemson. I'm about an hour and 45 minutes away. Just spend a lot of time, with my boys. I have 3 younger boys, 13, 9, and 6. So, between having my own store with Mavis and, trying to groom them and let them find, their place in this world, even at the young age that they're at, that's what takes most of my time right now. So don't have a lot going on, but I do have enough.
Cool. For sure.
There you go. Hey, family is what it's all about, man.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Look, everybody's asked about Christmas and stuff, and you said that about family. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Everybody that I've talked to, you realize you're getting old whenever they ask you how Christmas went, and you go, "Man, it was just so awesome watching the grandkids open their Christmas gifts and the looks on their faces." I'm like, I finally sat back the other day. I'm like, man, I'm old, But with that being said, that's been the most enjoyable part of this Christmas. It's amazing what those things were. My daddy told a friend of his years ago, it's been a couple years ago now, I was standing there with him, and he told him, said, if I'd have known how much fun having grandkids were, I would have skipped having kids and switched straight to that. And I said, I'm looking at him, I'm like, you do realize I'm standing right here. He said, and what's so funny is now I've had to look at him and go, boy, you weren't lying, were you?
You were a genius, huh?
All this wealth of knowledge, and I had no idea. Well, for those that don't know, that picture there is it's on the screen with us. That will go down. We said it earlier in folklore history. You got you've got the catch 2 in football, and then you've got the dunk. So there is no the dunk 2. Now, hey, we do have another 21 on the team. So, you never know,
Yeah.
I will always remember that night vividly, and we as fans appreciate everything that y'all have done for us. And we definitely appreciate y'all being the first guest we've had on our show. It's not a big show. It's a small thing, but we thank y'all. So
Hey, anytime.
Now, and I want to say this: that team that these guys were on was my favorite team of all time.
Oh yeah, Rick
Absolutely.
made sure of that, didn't he? Go pick a fight with Dean Smith and
yeah, I mean,
look here. Off. I mean, you got to root for a guy like that. Yeah.
Yeah, look here. I'll never forget that one game when he did go after Dean Smith, and I'm sitting here going, "Are we going to have enough players to finish the game?"
Yeah. That was another game. He went at Dean Smith at home, but then the game in North Carolina.
That's
I
right.
think he was on that team, right? With Taiwan was redshirting and they didn't put him in. Yep. Yeah. That was in Dean Dome. That's when they really was cheating.
I remember. I think
we had 44 fouls that game, and we ended up with
crazy.
What,
they had like
5,
40, 5 or some stuff. Yeah. Can't
look,
game like that.
Being honest, the only thing that I can say good is ever come out of North Carolina was Michael Jordan. So that'll always be my, so hey, but well, as we normally do, we go over some football stuff, and then we go from that into basketball. And tonight we're not going to take as much time on football because I don't think anybody on this panel really wants to talk too much about football right now. That yesterday was embarrassing. I'll say it, and that's my opinion. Now we won't get too much into it. I do believe that Coach Sweeney will get some things corrected, and especially after this year, he's gonna have very little choice, I believe. But you got to give some credit to. I know he seemed to go after the defense a little bit, but those of us that watched it, I know I felt like for a shorthanded defense, they handled themselves pretty well until you could see the hands on the hips and gasping for breath, and from that point it was pretty much downhill. And, So, but,
I'm gonna give one positive from the game.
Okay.
And I just want to give a shout out to the seniors that did not opt out and played their final game at Clemson. Some of them we can say what we want about them. Cade has had an up and down career, but you know what? I saw the post game interview with him and Coach Sweeney, and the dude loves Clemson. I mean, he had genuine tears in his eyes, and I think he did give it his best. And but thankful for those guys that stuck it out to the end, because had a bunch of opt outs, and that made a difference in the game for both sides. But
very true.
Ain't much to talk about on that game. It's a loss. Hey,
the first was really good.
Freddie, I'm glad we were 7-6 and not 6-7.
Well, all right, and I will throw this out there. Jeff knows this already. Big O and Greg, y'all don't know this, but for the last half of the season, one person in this group, and it wasn't Jeff, it wasn't myself, picked against Clemson, and we won. Okay? Last week, he changed and picked Clemson.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And we lost, huh?
Look,
and we lost.
Now, I'm sure you would not throw Big O out there. Big O, I'm sure you would not, throw Greg under the bus. But hey.
But sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade. If he's messing up, you got to call him out.
That's right.
So, everybody's wanting to blame Garrett Riley and Cade Klubnik and Daba. I know who I know who we blame.
Craig.
And Craig.
My fault. I take full responsibility, but I'll also take full responsibility for beating the Gamecocks this year too.
For
sure.
And by the way, he did pick us to beat the Gamecocks in basketball too, which I got credit for. But
basketball's my sport, so I'm a little bit better.
Well, y'all. All right, so let's get into what everybody on this panel is really want to talk about. So, all right, we started out with a pretty strong, in my opinion, out of conference schedule. Either one of y'all want to jump into it first with how do y'all think that we did overall in the out of conference part of the season to this point.
Are you asking me and Harold or
Yep,
or-
you and Harold.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
let
you
me
know,
see on.
yeah, I think it was well. I think we probably, if I was honest and if Coach was here, he'd probably say he probably let a couple get away. I think we probably let that BYU game get away. Alabama, I think, a strong comeback, and I think it was comeback in the second half, and we had a chance there. So, but you're playing two. I think they're Power 4 schools. I think BYU still Power 4, right? They're Big
Yeah.
12 thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you're playing schools like that, it can go either way, right? But I think the
Mhm.
early part of the schedule is going to help us for conference play. I think it allowed Coach to see what he had. When you have so many transfers come in, and at this day and age, I know everybody does. So if you can kind of steal a few wins early on, it helps you down the road, and you play a tough schedule, it helps you down the road.
Yeah.
But I felt like we probably should have won that BYU game. We let it slip away. Alabama on the road, it kind of go either way. You start off slow, I should say, and then make a tough run in the second half and then just fall a little short. But overall, I think the program's still in good hands and going in the right direction. And we'll see what happens in the conference. In the conference, everybody knows you. So things could be a little different. Teams that you think should lose win and vice versa. So, but I think the future's bright. Coach knows what he's doing. He's a really great coach. I didn't really realize how good of an X and O's guy he was until being around him and watching him and paying attention once he was recruiting my son, and he's really good at what he does.
Okay. How about you, Harold?
Well, I agree with what Coach Buckner said. We definitely let a couple get away. For me, before I jump into anything else, I would just like to see us be a little bit tougher, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I've had the time to, spend some time with Coach Brunell as well, and he is a really good coach. And I think that, great things are coming this time of year, going into the ACC, going into conference play. This is the time that not only the players but coaches as well have to step their game up. And like Coach Buckner says, everybody knows you. Everybody knows what you can do. Everybody knows, pretty much how you're going to play. So, you have to find something that's going to separate you this time of year. Because I remember when we were playing, we said that the season was basically 4 different parts, and going into this conference play, like your whole mentality have to change. Like you're starting over, basically 0-0. No wins, no losses. Excuse me.
A season within the season.
Yep.
Correct. So, it's a fresh slate, but your mentals just have to be different. You have to be tough mentally going into this part of the season, as well as physically. But overall, I think I like what I see from the guys thus far, and I just hope that we continue to build on some things. And I think that Coach Brunell will get those things straight as we enter the ACC play.
Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick, Freddie?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Buck and Big O, preparation, how does it change or does it change at all going into the conference schedule, given that teams are a little bit more familiar with you?
You can go first, O.
Well, I mean, that's the big thing. Teams are familiar with you, so different signals, different play calls, same plays, but just switching up signals, little wrinkles here and there. I think that this time of year, you have to be able, or you have to be more adaptive to making changes on the fly more quickly, because just like teams know us, we know them. So, if something is not working, if something is not going right, you have to be able to adapt quickly and make changes on the fly that can make a difference, in the game itself. So, but again, I fall back to, just being mentally tough. I know times are different, but I think Greg can attest to this, is that, when it was time for us to enter, that ACC play, like you could see it amongst the guys. I mean, our whole attitude changed, our mentals changed. Everybody knew that we was gonna be physical, and it was gonna be a fucking dog fight.
Yep.
When we entered, the arena with us, and with people knowing that, they're gonna do certain things, to try to stop you. But again, you just have to, I think, be mobile and be swift as far as changing game plan, changing schemes, things like that. You have to be able to do it on the fly and still have everyone on the same page.
I agree.
Yeah,
And
I think preparation did because we had a our leader when it comes to Rick Barnes was he was a menace and he really believed in preparation. So I think our preparation kind of stepped up a little bit, but we also had, for the most part, we had a sorry ass preseason schedule, right? So but his idea was prepping us to get ready for ACC play with confidence, because at that time there wasn't a whole lot of confidence in Clemson basketball. So he wanted to instill confidence in ourselves. So our preparation was a little different going into the ACC play. But he, like Owen said several times, he wanted to instill mental toughness. And part of mental toughness with the preparation is having more detailed scouting reports, doing more on and off the court, having more prep work. So I do think it became a little more. He intensified the preparation a little bit, but it also was the same, because he still wanted us to be free when we play, but still understand that we had a chance to win games. And not many people gave us shots, especially early on in my career at Clemson. But he gave us that fire and that preparation. The whole staff. Don't get me wrong, not just Rick, but the whole staff. So the prep went up a little bit for sure.
Yep. And you can see with Coach Brownell, he gets a little fiery out there sometimes too. He's got a little Rick Barnes in him.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
He don't want to be known as Little Rick Barnes. Yeah,
Look,
Little Rick Barnes. Yeah.
I will say this. I will never forget I think it was the Maui Invitational. I'm watching it on TV, and I guess he didn't realize how much the acoustics, or how good the acoustics were in that place. And trust me when I tell you, I'm sure that the TV program, or I think it was ESPN, went, we should have bleeped all of that.
Yeah.
We should have done something different.
I mean, the coaches
because
don't cuss, that's for sure. Yeah, coaches don't cuss. But I mean, like the Rick Barnes piece wasn't what people saw Rick Barnes on during the games was tip of the iceberg of what we experienced behind that, quote unquote, behind the curtain. And I love Rick. I love him to death. I know he helped me grow up and become a man. You know what I mean? Like, he prepared me for adulthood. If it wasn't for Rick, I was joked about earlier. If it wasn't for I don't know where I'd be. But this is to the day I die. Rick Barnes changed my life. He helped me become a humbled, hardworking, disciplined young man.
Correct.
But he was crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, we were talking about it earlier when he went toe to toe with Dean Smith in the Dean Dome. Look here, I wanted to suit up and jump through the TV.
Right.
Everybody's fouled out. They need another player. How long will it take me to get to Chapel Hill?
Right. Yeah. I mean, the things him and his staff did for us, man,
bodies all around.
Amazing. Yeah, the things they did for us was amazing. That staff really inspired me to want to get into coaching. I always wanted to get into coaching in the college rankings, but in the pros, I just got an opportunity to do it in the pros before college. But the way they took us to another level as young men is something I always tried to do for the next generation of young men.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, with this basketball schedule coming up, I think we have Syracuse on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
And that's good. That's a great ACC team to start with. What y'all thinking on that? How about it, Big O?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm curious to see. Like you said, it's a great team though. to open the ACC conference up with. I don't know exactly what to think, but I am hopeful that our guys just come out and with a mental fortitude like they belong.
That's right.
Top of the ACC, and Syracuse is just another stepping stone.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, for them to have to start on the road in Syracuse. I talked to my son after the BYU game and the Alabama game. He hadn't been on the road at Power 4 schools with Alabama, then in an NBA arena. He had been a ball boy in NBA arena, but he hadn't been actually on the court in the NBA arena when he got to Madison Square Garden. And something that struck me is he said, Pops, both of those buildings were super smaller than I thought they were. And I don't know what the name of that place is now, but the Carrier Dome is not super small.
What did you say?
You want to know how they will respond, and it's going to be a packed house. I think it's opening game for the ACC for them as well. So it's going to be a packed night. They're going to think it's sweet because it's Clemson and not Duke in North Carolina. So they're going to try to, take the first punch and try to get a win early. So they got to be ready for that environment, and I hope they are, because that environment will be different because it's double, if not triple, of the normal amount of people in a basketball arena. And a lot of those guys haven't been on that stage and on the road in ACC at all. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good test. And I think hopefully, they pass the test and it builds confidence and kind of get that snowball rolling down the hill throughout the ACC play.
Coach,
I want to ask you this. You said that the Carrier Dome is a bigger building. How do shooters adjust to shooting in an environment?
I think if you're good, that it is what it is. Most of us are shot on bicycle rims.
Right.
Ola keeps saying it, the mental toughness piece. If you miss shots in the Carrier Dome because it's completely quote unquote different, you're not mentally tough because you're just making excuses, and you're not going to win anyway, and you're not going to be as great as you want to be or can be because you don't have that mental, as Ola said, fortitude. Because the basket is still 10 feet. The ball is still, I think, 29.5 in college. The floor is still wood. So, and guys are still defending you. And so you got to make the shots. It's basketball. Or go home and play rec ball.
All right. We got a
spoken by a true coach.
We got a listener or watcher that's got a question for you. Do you give a lot of your focus towards the big games like Cal, Duke, UNC, Miami, or whenever the time comes to face those teams? I guess what he's asking is do you look ahead to some of those, or do you try to, or do they? Am I making sense there?
Yeah, I think so. I think what he's probably trying to say is, do your mindset change for the big games, quote unquote big games? Yeah. I think if you have any sense and you got a good leader and a great coaching staff, they're going to tell you got to take it game by game. What you have to do is really heighten your focus and attention to the teams or the games that you're probably supposed to win, because they don't have to do that for us when it comes to the Dukes, the Carolinas, and the big games. We're going to be ready to play on the big games. You know what I mean? We may be too hyped to play on the big games at times. So I don't think you put more focus on those games as having to play a South Carolina State, or North Carolina A&T, where they really got to kick us in the butt and get us focused, because, you should beat them by 25, and you don't want it to be a 5-point game going down the wire because you wasn't focused throughout the game.
Right.
Well, I want to give y'all another shout out here because I've been begging my nephew to get on and watch us for how many months? We've been doing it since August, Craig. And the first night he's actually got on.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all even brought my nephew out, man.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
What's up, nephew?
Yeah.
But all right, and I guess I've got to ask. I've been teetering on whether I want to ask it or not, but. All right, so I love Coach Brownell. And I've met him a couple of times. Great guy. But what is with the stretches that his teams go through where it's like we can't hit the backside of a barn? Does anybody have an idea? If y'all don't, and like I told y'all before we started, if you don't want to answer, don't have an answer, that's fine too. I
think it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You're going to have cold streaks, but it's a matter of leadership on the floor. I think saying, all right, let's roll. Hey, Ace Buckner is going to be very good in helping us out down the stretch. I don't think he played a few games to start the season, right? Midway through he had a little injury. Is that right?
Who, Ace?
Yeah.
No, he just wasn't playing.
Okay, but he's scoring points. He's on the floor a lot more now. I think Zach's out. Zach's out with injury, but I think that what we were talking about earlier is learning from what happens in some of these games at BYU. We were up by 22, 24. Can't remember. They came back and beat us. Cincinnati, we were up by 27. They almost came back and beat us, but we ended up pulling that game off and winning it. So I feel like that was a good learning curve. That loss to BYU helped them kind of get over the hump with that dry spell that we had against Cincinnati. What they cut the lead to what, 2?
Yeah.
And we ended up beating them by a few points, but that happens. I mean, Big O, what you think? You've been out there on that court before, being up by 20 and hit a cold spell. And what's the mindset of a player on the court when those times happen?
Well,
what do you think?
I can't 2 games we was up by 20, but but nah. I think again, my whole thing is your mentals, your mentality. And with the coach that we had, the coaching staff that we had, when we had people down, our thing was to put our foot on their neck. They may creep back, but we had a solution for that, and it was our defense, it was our toughness, it was our mental toughness. So if we were ever up 20, 25 points and we let a team come back, I don't think that any of us would have lived to tell that story. I mean, for us, and times are different. The game is different. But when we got up by double digits, Greg is right there. Like when we got up by double digits, I mean, we were gonna hold it and grind that out as long as we could, man, because we knew, like we had delivered a blow, and they probably couldn't have sustained it, as long as we did, because not only were we physically conditioned, we was mentally conditioned. So when we got by double digits, I mean, your mentals, or we was trained that your mentals go to a different level.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
I think what the question, to kind of answer the original question, and with me being as a coach, is just like, and I think Craig answered is like, it's part of the game, right? It's like you're close to the Clemson basketball, so you see it with Clemson basketball, but it happens in every team. Every program is saying the same thing, except for maybe a Duke who has 13, McDonald All-Americans who can score the ball with their eyes closed. It's a different story for them. So you got to be, defensively tough against those type teams. But every team goes through that for the most part, and every program goes through that. And if you figure that out as a coach and as a podcast host, Freddie, like you can write your own ticket and coach any program, any professional team you would want to. Yeah, and you can ask anybody, man, because we all want to figure that out, because that's just part of the game of missing shots. But what. And then, we talk about it here in the NBA. Like some nights you just missing shots, you're getting great shots, and you're missing the shots that you've made a million times. And then they go down there and hit a couple heave threes. And with the 3-point shot, now the game changes. Now you're going from 20 to 14 just like that. Now, especially in college, guys, get a little tight, and then that shot becomes a little
Heels.
tough, and then you miss a layup, or you go in there and you get fouled, but the ref don't call it because he's fell into the momentum of the game, and next thing you know, it's an 8-point game. So that's just part of it. And I think just because you're so close to it, you see it with Clemson, but I think every team and every coach that coaches basketball says, "Damn, sometimes we just can't score."
Well, and it really felt that way again. You said that about the basket getting tight. It really felt that way against Alabama. It just nothing at the beginning of that game would go in. I'm talking about, you would think, honestly, at times I felt like the score was going, 2 point. Oh, no, got to take it back.
Right. And I think if I'm not mistaken, that was their first road game, I think, right? That group.
It was.
I think it was the first road game. And I mean, I couldn't imagine playing, let alone coaching in this era with everybody. He had I think he lost 9-10 guys from last year's team. I think only 3 guys came back to the team last year. So when your first road test and then your first half, and you see they played completely different in that second half, and they had to get comfortable, and that's just part of basketball and college sports in general. I bet every coach in every sports is going through that right now, especially early on in that first road test.
And then add into it that you were playing against the number 12 team in the nation, and it was the Big East ACC Challenge. So of course, all the spotlights were on you. So I get that. Yeah. All right. So go ahead, Craig. You got one.
Yeah. We had a discussion, I think, last week about the portal and how it affected basketball teams. And you kind of touched on it a little bit just now, Coach. It might be a little bit easier for the basketball players in football or baseball for that matter, but seems like with AAU, these guys, they get out and play with a lot of different dudes, year round. And it seems like they do gel a lot faster with basketball, but that's why I like the good non-conference schedule. You get some of those learning curves done. You have to know your players on the court. You got to know who you're playing with, got to know what their tendencies are. And I think that we've got some of those kinks worked out now moving forward to the ACC.
Yeah, I also think in basketball it's a little different. I don't know the baseball world as much as I would say the basketball and football world. But in basketball, I mean, you play what's our record? 9-3, I think, right now. We played 12 preseason games essentially, right? Yep. And we played South Carolina, Alabama, BYU, and Cincinnati. Yeah. So eight of those teams was trash. Meaning, like you're gonna beat those teams because you're an ACC school, you have the talent. So yes, it may look like basketball gels quicker, but they don't. They really don't. It's just like if you lose one football game, you might as well go home. You know what I mean? Unless you're in the SEC, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if you're in the SEC or somewhere like that and you lose one, it's like now everybody's like, oh, they're done for the national championship. And it doesn't really, it's not the same in basketball because, you get hot at the right time. You NC State, you go beat everybody. 83, I think it was, they won the national championship with a team that barely got in the tournament. You know what I mean? That happens a lot in basketball, but just because there's so many games, you still have a true tournament and an opportunity to make a run down the road. And you forget about the hard times you went through in October and November and December because you made a run in March.
So you mean to tell me that in the SEC, you can lose to a sorry team like Florida State from the ACC in the first game of the season and then end up in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. You better be in the SEC though.
It just means more.
And you better be Alabama.
Next, you'll be telling me it just means more. Losses them. Hey, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Hey, now I'm gonna jump back for a minute because y'all have led me to the way I feel about it, which I felt pretty confident on this anyway, was that y'all's coach had y'all mentally tough because of the way that y'all practiced and stuff like that. Now I'm gonna tell you, when I met Terry Allen, and y'all can tell me if this is close or not. When I met running back Terry Allen from the Danny Ford teams, I asked him. I said, what was the toughest? When y'all played, what was it? He looked at me and said, "We look forward to ball games. And I was like,
yeah.
huh? He said, we look forward to ball games because Coach Ford would kill us in practice.
Yeah.
He said it was one-on-one, first team on first team. And he said, I have gone into a number of games where I was so beat up that I was just thankful that, because there was no way that team was going to do what we did. Similar and I know not punishing, but would you say it would be similar?
Yeah, I think it's very similar. I just had a conversation with one of our strength coaches a couple of days ago. It was funny. He was on the elevator. I was on the elevator. I was going to dinner. He was going to the gym, and I was like, where you going? He said, I got to go make this cold tub. I was like, the cold tub? He said, yeah, the guys got to get in the cold tub. He said, you want to go? I said, hell no. I said, when I left college, I said I wasn't ever getting in another cold tub. And I played 10 years in the NBA. I didn't need a cold tub in the NBA. In college, we needed a cold tub every 3 days with Rick Barnes. Like, you had to get in that cold tub to survive. And I'm with Terry. Like, you look forward to the games because you can't get away with that now. The kids are not as tough as we were. Like, we had parents that would knock us in the head just for looking at them wrong, right? You had coaches that would run you all day in middle school and high school. These kids don't get that. You know what I mean? You'd go to jail if you try to do what Rick Barnes did to us. And you would never get another job in any sport or anywhere in sports. So you can't do those things. But he's right, man. Practice was a dogfight. And we wasn't promised nothing. Like, you had to compete for your minutes. You had to compete for your minutes. If Big O came in there and was acting lazy, E. Care would take his minutes. If I came in there and wasn't ready to play, Vincent Witt would take my minutes. You know what I mean? It's just like, and me and O, we're too competitive. You're not getting my minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I want those minutes. I want the girls to see my muscles when I'm on the jersey. They can't see that if I got a warm-up on. So you're not getting my minutes. I'm not the most attractive guy. My body was my bait. They got to see this. Yeah.
Well, all right, and I'm going to ask y'all. We've got a couple more questions from viewers also. I'm going to ask y'all. Michael, which is Craig's brother, he brought up a point the other day, and I had no clue that this was even a thing. But he was saying that coaches now in college can go out in between semesters and bring in another guy or another player to play. Now, when I asked a buddy of mine who covers, he said that when Coach Brownell was asked about it, he didn't see us going that route. But what are y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, have y'all seen that? Heard that?
I hadn't heard that. And maybe you can do that. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the transfer portal, to be honest with you. The part I mind with it, like the overall transfer portal, I don't mind that. What I mind is there's no penalties for transferring. Like, we would have to sit out a year. Like, you can transfer 1 million times if it's up to me, but you got to sit out. So to be able to just transfer and come in and play ASAP, I think is wrong. It probably is true if you transfer in the middle of the year now, because there's no penalties for sitting out. And if you're a coach and you see a deficiency on your program, you got to do whatever you can to try to make your team better. And if there's a guy somewhere that you think can make your team better, I think you should have that opportunity and that right to do that. And then guys in-house, you better get your stuff together. That's just part of competition. You get a participation trophy for having a scholarship at Clemson, or Georgia, or whatever it may be. You got to compete. And if somebody comes in and out-competes you, you don't get to play.
Hey, like you said, just go play rec ball.
Right. And the same thing in the real world, right? If you're not good at your job in the real world, sports prepares you for the real world. If you're not good enough in the real world, they are going to fire you. And then they're going to bring somebody else in better than you to get the job done if you can. And that's just what sports, I truly believe, preps you for real life.
Yeah.
That's why I hate participation trophies.
We're gonna jump to a football question, and anybody who wants to jump in here and answer this one for Whit, I'll let you go with this. Do y'all think Dabo should go for a quarterback in the portal or stick with what he has on the roster? And I know y'all are basketball guys, but if y'all want to throw something out there, y'all are welcome to it too.
Well, first of all, I think we need to. We need to.
I think you can't win without a quarterback. Without a great quarterback, you don't have a chance in hell. We got spoiled at Clemson with the Deshaun's and the Trevors and even DJ's first year, he was pretty good. And what was the kid? I think Kelly Bryant, right? Bryant, he had a good year. I mean, obviously we had good defenses, but like you have to have great quarterback play at whatever level you're, high school, college, pros, in order to have a chance to win big time. They cover up so many warts for everybody, and if you don't have that, I mean, maybe he feels he has that in his roster, on the roster already. I don't know that. I'm not on. I don't know what they got going on over there, but I think the quarterback position is very important. Very important.
There's not a lot of experience.
Sure.
Vizina started one game when Klubnik was out. Other than that, I mean, he might have played a little mop-up duty last few minutes of the game. And behind him, we have Denson, who I think is going to be a star, but just no experience there. And if you want to win, you don't want a point guard that with a lot of veteran players, and you don't want a freshman point guard that doesn't have that experience. Especially in the big
unless
games.
he's super talented, because talent.
That's
I'll take talent over experience any day.
Wait a minute. All right, unless you're Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence, is what you're saying.
I'll take talent over experience any day.
I had another person that was pointing out today that they were talking about the running back position, and I had to comment on it. I try not to, on Facebook, but he was saying that Keith Adams, who was transferring out, was a more physical runner than Adam Randall, and the only reason that Adam Randall got that position was because of seniority. Now, what he didn't realize was that Adam Randall and Keith Adams Jr. came in around the same time. They, all right. Second of all, Adam Randall, was the 9th best ACC running back by numbers. He had only 200 something less yards with less carries than the number one running back. And then on top of that, I pointed out to him that, I don't understand the seniority thing correct me if I'm wrong. Did the seniority thing, was that used whenever Deshaun took over for Cole Stout, or when Kelly Bryant got beat out by Trevor Lawrence? Was there a seniority thing there that I didn't realize? I mean, but like I said, I try not. I really do. I try not to comment on Facebook, but sometimes you gotta. All right, getting back to basketball, and these questions here are pretty similar, but I'm gonna throw them up there for y'all. One more question from Isaac. In y'all's opinion, is this Clemson roster a championship contending team? What do you think?
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball. We back to basketball.
Yeah. That's a tough question, to be honest with you.
Might be too early to tell.
Yeah, I think it may be too early to tell. You've had a few good tests. You passed a couple. You flunked one per se, almost flunked another one, but who knows? I think in basketball, man, if you can get clicking at the right time, I know we've seen teams that struggled in the preseason against teams that's underwhelming, and they get in conference play and they just start to click, and they go on a, back in my day, 12-4 conference run, and then they have a good run in the conference tournament. Then it leads them to a good run in the NCAA tournament. So, the way basketball shaped up, man, anybody can win it. I think everybody thinks they still have a chance this early in the season, but only time will tell.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to interrupt one real quick, if I can. Big O, some ladies want to say hello to you.
Hold on.
That's my wife and 3 of my girls.
Hey, what's up, lady?
Hey, y'all.
Way down there at the bottom. And the girls, Erica and the girls want to say hey to Big O real quick.
Hey, look, it is a family thing. You know that, brother. You good.
All
right, now just
Greg, I've got 6 daughters. That's just
I got 4. Yeah, so
I might holler at you after this.
All right,
But they love Big O.
I'm gonna throw this next question up there before I'm gonna throw it over to Greg, the Big O, because he didn't get a chance to throw his 2 cents on that last one. But Wood also asked, do y'all see Clemson making a run come March, especially since they seem to struggle closing out games against ranked opponents? And pretty much same question in a way, but he did throw out a good fact there, or a good point, with the struggles we've had, What do you think, Big O?
Well, here's the thing. Struggles don't last always. And, I think Greg can attest to this. But it goes back to what Coach Buckner said earlier. When you're talking about championship caliber teams, or, the way you close out games, it's like, you can go on the street and, you just start clicking, start gelling at the right times. The chemistry is great and you become a championship team. So, the same thing with this right here. Like, you might can't close out games right now, but later on, you find exactly what it is that you have to do, along with, probably a little bit of coach tweaking as well. And, before you know it, you're closing out games, you're closing strong, and, the rest is history. So things that are apparent now, they may not, or they should not appear, by the time March gets here.
Okay. Yeah, I think coming into the season, when you have a roster full of new faces, you don't know who your go-to guy is. Mm-hmm. And I think you use this time right now, coach has used this time, preseason time, to try to figure out who his go-to guy is. And I'm pretty sure he still may not know who his go-to guy is and which sets he's going to use to close games, because, depending on if your go-to guy is a big, or if your go-to guy is a wing, if your go-to guy is your point guard, your sets and your offense changes a little bit. And and you still got enough time he still has enough time to work the kinks out to figure that out. I know they got some guys over there that can put that ball in the basket at crunch times, and I'm a little biased from one of them, because I've been with one, and I've won a national championship on the AAU stage with one of them, and I know he can do it, and I know he's not afraid of the moment. But, you talk about the seniority, he's a freshman. So, coach, he's not going to just put the ball in his hands already. He has to earn that right to do that. Rick Barnes didn't do the same. He didn't do that for me. I had to earn that right. So, you got to earn that right and prove it. But, by the end of the year, I think they got a few guys over there that could prove it to coach and could be closing out games and making free throws and things like that. Big defensive stops. You may have to do it on the defensive side of basketball.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Buck and when you get to this point in the year, or that point in the year in March, how big of a role do matchups play? Teams that you're matched up against. What role does that play in a run in the tournament?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. So I'm sorry, because our year, my senior year, was probably our best year. Now, probably will say his senior year when they went to the NIT championship, and they kind of had a little letdown throughout the season. They was a very talented and experienced team. But my senior year, their junior year, we could have won a national championship. Dick Vitale picked us to be a sleeper to come and get to the Final Four. But we played Western Michigan, who was a fragile-ass team, who flopped all over the place, who got hot, and we got not only the matchup, you got to have the right refs. We had a lower level group of refs, and we was physical. So Big O had 3 fouls in the first half. I had 3 fouls in the first half. So that takes away our aggressiveness, and then they get hot again, and we end up losing that game. And if we play another physical team, it's like we're gonna try to out physical them, or even a Power 5 school. Is not. I think Western Michigan's who knows what conference they're in. You know what I mean? But and it just took us out of that game, and it's just like it messed up our run just because of, like you said, the matchup is just a bad matchup with the refs, not necessarily the team, because we made a good fight, but the refs took us out the game from the very beginning, and it cost us a chance to be Clemson's first team to go. I'm almost positive we haven't been to a Final Four yet, but we could have went to the Final Four and made some noise with that group. It ran Rick Barnes to Texas.
I think the best was grade 8. Wasn't it the grade 8?
Yeah, I
the
think
Elite 8
Brad
a couple years
ago.
ago.
Elite 8, I'm sorry.
The Elite 8. They went to the Elite 8 a couple years ago,
Yeah. So, yeah.
And that was a great point that you made right there, Coach. refs when you're playing against a team that's not as aggressive as you are. You know, they're going to call on the aggressive team. If both teams are aggressive, they're going to let things kind of roll. Let the ball be played. But hey, you can't.
And
Yeah,
then,
but
and
I
you know,
think
in the tournament, in the first round, you don't have all the good referees. You haven't weeded out the good referees as you go. You still got to
right.
throw some guys in there just to feel for, because you got so many games going on at the time. So you don't have the good refs, and these guys are like, oh, now I can build up my reputation. I can call every foul, and now next year I can be in the Final Four. No, fool, you got to let some of these things go so they can watch the game. Now, nobody wants to watch a free throw shooting contest.
Well, and I'll piggyback off of that. All right. Overall, and I'm talking about, I'm not as big of an NBA fan, but you know, all right, college basketball, NFL football, SEC football, ACC football, whatever. Which it seems like that maybe over the last 2 years that that the refereeing has gotten. I don't think I'm going with a stretch here. Gotten way worse.
Yeah.
Okay, and any ideas what? I mean,
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know why it's gotten worse, because I don't think the teams play as good as defense as they used to back in the day. I don't think defense.
That's the thing. I mean, I can't put my finger on it, but I mean it's been egregiously bad in college.
I think we are all that generation of I remember when, right? I remember when we was able to be physical. You talking about to play defense, you have to be physical.
Yeah.
And if the rules change where I can't be physical, you're going to be pissed off and say there's no defense. But I can't touch them. Everything's geared to the offense, because now everything is about scoring, whether it's football, whether it's basketball. It's not like you can have a great game in football when it's 6-3. You can have a great game in basketball where it's 45-42. It's still a great game, but they don't want that game. They'd rather it be in basketball for sure. They'd rather it be 150 and up to 145. Oh, that was a great game. Football, they'd rather it be 60-59. Oh, it was a great game. No, that's just. Maybe it is a great game. I'm not going to say that, but it won't be a defensive great game. It'd be an offensive great game.
It's funny you say that, because Facebook lit up at halftime yesterday, because that was the lowest scoring Pinstripe Bowl in the bowl game's history. Okay. Right. And all that Facebook and social media had was ugly, man.
Yeah.
It was 6-3.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know,
and TV and ESPN and everybody, they know that nobody wants to watch that, so they got to tell the referees that we got to call it so the offense can look good, because people are not going to view. And then we just paid y'all, $10 billion for this contract, right? So we got to have people watching it so we can sell these ads, so referees get on board.
There Greg goes with these SEC and ESPN conspiracies again. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey, defense, here you go. Defense wins games, but offense sells tickets.
Yeah, exactly right.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Right now, Cooper Flag's the big deal now in the NBA.
Yeah.
You can't scroll on social media without seeing Cooper Flag highlights.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more from Isaac. I know didn't he say that was his last one a little while ago? But we're gonna give him this last one here. It's back to football. He said we haven't seen a quarterback truly develop in a while. Very true. Trevor and Deshaun, they were raw talent. Should Dabo pay more attention to a coach and hope to develop one of our younger guys? I'm gonna take a shot at this one before anybody else does. Like Denson, I think it's Denson this year. All right. I love him. I love watching him. What people don't, or what most fans don't realize, is the runs that he had against Furman, which was, as we all know, wasn't a great ACC or SEC opponent, were because he didn't see the wide open receivers. So it tells you that, he's got a little ways to go. I don't know, just being honest, if he's going to stick with a quarterback and not go into the portal. I do believe it's going to have to be Chris Vizina, because even though he's got very little starting experience, he's got more experience than Denson does.
Yep.
You know, so that now I'll let y'all jump in and give me y'all are giving y'all's thoughts on that.
Well, personally, we're in a different day and age of college football. It's what have you done for me lately? I've been reading all day about Dabo's on the hot seat now. I think we're going to just have to go after a proven quarterback and let these other guys, hey, iron sharpens iron, you know. I don't think we have time to develop a quarterback in a year and hope to have a winning season next year like we want. 7-6 isn't going to be acceptable again for these fans.
No, I don't believe that either. I don't believe it will be.
That's just my opinion.
Anybody else?
I think at that quarterback position, the guy has to be dynamic. You know, you whether he's, you know, built up or he's a young guy or somebody else has already built him up and we want to pay him $20 million to come play for Clemson and all that stuff. Yeah, but I think he has to be dynamic. He has to be a dual threat. And in today's game, if he's not a dual threat, he might have missed those wide open guys, but if he's slow and he can't make those runs, he's sacked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to be to play at that position. You got to be improv at that position, and then you got to have a dynamic guy at that position. And that's just me. I think that's the way it should be. And if he has somebody on his roster that's that guy, I think you take the time to develop that guy. I just don't know if, it looks good to go out and just get somebody that already is proven in another system. And then he has to come in and learn your system, or you have to change your system for this guy. And that could be a recipe for disaster as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right.
So I look at it
Go ahead.
both ways. I think we do need a quarterback, but knowing Dabo and his loyalty to his players, I don't think he's just going to go out and grab someone that's going to come in and say, this is our guy.
So you're the guy.
So
because,
you're like me. You think he's going to have to come in and earn it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I from what he's shown us over the years, he's just too loyal to guys that have put in, the work that has been there. And I just don't see it. But again, I do think we need someone at that position. My other question is real quick. Can we start a portal for coaches? Because at this point,
I would love that.
Yeah.
We paid all these coaches money, and truthfully, one in particular haven't shown me anything. I'm not going to say no names, but he haven't shown me why we pay.
I think the next couple of days in that building are going to get interesting.
Yeah.
I think you'll see the answer to the quarterback question when those other questions are answered.
There was some video.
Y'all say that because I spent, you bring up a good point about Dabo's loyalty, and I spent some time with him every summer now, so I'm a little biased about Dabo, but what Dabo changed my mind, and people don't get the insight. A lot of people don't get to spend the time with him or talk to him like I got to. Is like he always has a plan, and like I was like most fans too before I got to know him. I was like, yeah, what the filth is going on? You know what I mean? So when you talk to him, he looks at it as a Clemson way. This is the way we do things. Everybody thinks you're going to be Georgia and Alabama. I think, yes, we were spoiled with a lot of things in the past, but what other coach are we going? Like, people want to get rid of coaches all the time, and I'm a little biased again because I'm a coach. Like, what other coach are we going to get that's better than Dabo? Like, Penn State thought they was going to do this and that. Michigan, all these fucking programs, excuse my French, think they are what they're not when it comes down to it. Coaches, you just don't. You're not going to go get Nick Saban off the couch. You know what I mean? You're not going to go get these great coaches to come into Clemson and be better than Dabo. Like, it's part of the growth. You know what I mean? You're going to have ups and down seasons in sports. That's just part of it.
The best one I saw, let me tell you, the funniest one I saw was should we go away from Dabo and go get Tony Elliott and bring him back? This was my question. All right. So you really and truly believe that you're going to get Tony Elliott, who in his own right has had his first good season at Virginia.
Yeah, right.
All right. But you're going to get him after you get rid of Dabo to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to come take the place of the only guy that believed in me when no one else did, and I'm going to take his spot. Nah. Not
and if a guy does that, you don't want him in your building because he's not worth the grain of salt that he weighs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whatever that term is, You want a class act running your program, and that would not be a class act. But I just say, like, you know, it's just part of it, man. Like, you just gotta keep grinding, which I know Dabo will. He'll keep searching for ways and different combinations for coaches and players to try to turn this thing around. He hates losing worse than any of us. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're fans, but he has to live that shit every day.
Man, look here.
He has to go into he has to go into his humongous office to see all those trophies and rings, and say, I got to get me one. I got to get me another one of those. You know, he has that passion.
And y'all can and tell me if I'm wrong here, but everything about him makes me feel like he's addicted to, and I don't want to say it in a bad way, but anybody who's ever won a championship becomes addicted to that feeling.
Right.
Okay. Right. We as fans, I still long for, going back to 2018 and, 2018, 2019 and being able to celebrate another championship, even though I wasn't on the field, I didn't play.
Right.
And I can only imagine that, there probably aren't as many players that have that feeling that are coming through there right now, but the coaches do. I know Dabo
talking
does.
about getting rid of Dabo, man. I remember, no disrespect to these guys, but I remember what was the guy that was there? Tommy Bowden. Tommy West.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there for Tommy West years when like we was winning 5 games, it felt like, we was losing the teams, like they had a term Clemsoning. You know what I mean? We was gonna lose to a team we wasn't supposed to. Like let's pump our brakes and allow a man who's been great for us for damn near 20 years have a couple, bumps in the road to turn things around.
I can still remember when Ken Hatfield was there.
You can't do that.
And us going up there and paying $10. We paid $10 for upper deck tickets, and I'm like, okay, hey. We go up to the north stands. We're walking up the thing, and the guy says, "Where y'all going?" I said, "We're going to our seats." And he's like, "Let me see your tickets." I'm like, "Here you go." Yeah. He said, "Dude, you can go into the lower bowl, man. Sit wherever you want." What?
I remember those days.
Against Georgia Tech, man.
Yep. And I want to kind of go off what Buck was saying just now. You're not going to find anybody else like Dabo Swinney to come in and completely change a program the way he has. He puts character in the guy's future is first, and of course he wants to put together a great football team. But I'll tell you, it's kind of ironic that we played Penn State in the Pinstripe Bowl because I'm a big James Franklin fan.
Yeah,
for the past I can't remember how long he'd been at Penn State, 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Probably a little longer than that, I would think. Yeah, time flies.
They made playoffs last year. I mean, he was kind of in the same position as Dabo this year, and mid-season gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Well, it's like you said earlier.
And then they couldn't find a good coach that would take the job. The coaches was using Penn State to get a raise at their current place.
Yeah.
Think about it.
People do with Clemson. That's what. And then so now you got to go to Austin Peay and get their head coach because all the big school coaches are using the Clemson job to get a raise at their spot or get their coaches raises or get their facilities upgraded because Clemson wants you. So I mean, just it's funny that people want that. Yeah.
Well, the thing that I look at is most of these fans are doing that probably couldn't tell you who the quarterback was before 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. Sadly enough, and I call it. I say it all the time. I've said it on here. I've said it. You got a bunch of
I probably couldn't tell you either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love
Look,
Clemson. Yeah.
hey man, look, I'm not throwing. You're a basketball man, bro. You've actually,
yeah. Look out for me. Yeah.
Coach, you've actually gone further into football than I expected either one of y'all to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I
So,
like
Hey,
Clemson
Big
football.
O could have
That's
played
my
football.
passion. Yeah.
Hey,
They tried to
could-
get me to play. I'm sure they tried to get O to play, but I was like, nah, I can't go out there. Yeah. That's when Florida State.
I
That's
bet
you talking
you.
about sorry Florida State. That's when they was really good and big. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I bet you if Big O, Ian Shefflin went and played tight end for Clemson this year.
Yeah. Well,
Big
he was
O
on
could
the
have been
team.
tight
he
end.
tried.
He was on the team. Yeah.
He gets an A for effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know if he played.
I would have.
He was on the
I
team.
would have loved Big O to play that position.
Yeah, he got a jersey. Yeah.
He was like me in high school. He was on the team.
Yeah, right.
He had a jersey.
Yeah. They gave him his own locker. Yeah, but I don't know if he played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did they actually give him his own locker? I mean, hey, we don't know.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a totally different monster. That's a totally different monster.
Yeah, it is a monster for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Big
Y'all
O,
look
you
here.
done that?
We have had, and I'm going to
No,
tell
I
you,
wouldn't
I've had a
know.
blast. We are actually an hour and 13 minutes over. We usually try to go about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. There's no way you was gonna get me and O on here and we was gonna talk for 30 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
I'm trying to tell you.
And,
No
and
way.
Yeah.
we love it,
We're gonna
man.
have to do a part 2.
Yes.
we have to do-
Sure.
when we can get
Absolutely.
y'all together.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Anytime.
And we'll talk in the coming, probably closer to March, or
Yeah,
maybe
for
halfway
sure.
through the basketball,
Yeah.
ACC schedule, and go with it that way. Y'all, I can't tell y'all enough how much we appreciate it. I think I speak for all three of us when I say we can't thank y'all enough, man. This has been a blast.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
guys.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, and personally, I appreciate the insight from former players. Y'all know football and basketball, the inner workings of a team. So we appreciate having a different perspective than. I was high school sports, and that was it.
Yeah, the only thing next time I come on here, we better allot for 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. Okay.
There you go.
hey,
We got it.
I want to tell I'm gonna tell a funny story.
For the bench warmers, okay?
I'm gonna tell a funny story, and Coach, you can ask Coach McIntyre this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So
Coach
Wayne
McIntyre,
Buchanan-
that's funny. Yeah.
I know, right? Well, I mean, kind of like you, it's
Yeah,
hard
I'm like,
calling
who
you
is Coach
Coach.
McIntyre? Yeah. When they
Well, it's hard for me calling you Coach whenever
Yeah,
I've always called you, Greg.
Be like, hey,
But
T-Mac.
and for
I was
him,
like, who the hell is T-Mac? That's Tracy McGrady. Yeah, I know him as Boogie. Yeah.
well, all right. So when Wayne Buckingham put on the golf tournament a couple years ago for Sharon Wright up in Clemson, one of my bucket list items was to play on the Walker course.
Mm-hmm.
I am no good at golf.
Yeah.
I love the game, but I suck at it. I'll be the first to tell you that. I don't even know what a handicap is. If I had a handicap, it wouldn't even count. Okay.
Right.
All right. But I go up there, pay the money, and I didn't pay any extra money, but they put us with a guy named Coleslaw, which the name was given to him by Danny Ford. Okay. Older guy, cool guy. I mean, he was hilarious. Well, we go out, they forget that we're playing to start with, my nephew and I. So they finally send us out to the hole to play, and we're getting ready to get started. And we're meeting each other and everything. And all of a sudden, this golf cart comes out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, crap. They forgot and didn't put us on the right one, man. I'm sitting here going, what did we do wrong?
Yeah, right.
Well, as it gets closer, slows down, I'm looking, and this guy pulls up. He says, hey, you mind if we play with y'all? We're like, yeah, Terrell McIntyre and Terrence Oglesby.
Yeah.
All right, now I will give Coach McIntyre his credit. He was a lot better than I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we did not have a good game, because of my nephew and I. We didn't place or anything like that. But I need to call him and try to get him on here with y'all because I did not realize until I was researching that y'all play. I know Coach Butler, you and he played together. Did you play with him, Big O?
Yeah, they was
all
roommates.
played together.
Yeah, they was roommates the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
was really
See,
brothers. Yeah,
I'm learning all kinds of stuff today.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, y'all, it was the stories I could tell y'all from
Yeah.
that golf tournament. You know, were just now, like I say, we didn't place, we didn't do anything like that, but it was a great time. Ended up eating lunch with the late great Eldon Campbell
Yeah.
and several others. And
Yeah, well, Wayne Buckingham, he still does that every summer. So
He
I've been
does.
the last
He
two
does.
summers. It's a great event. A great
Yep.
event. He has, football, basketball, women's basketball. I have so many different ex-players come back through, ex-coaches come back, and it's an unbelievable event of Clemson family in August every year. And I really enjoy it. And I tell him I'm not gonna miss it. I didn't get to play with Wayne. But he was around a little bit when I got on campus. Unbelievable guy, really loves Clemson and does a great job with that event.
Well, I've gotten, I keep up with Sharon. We got really close whenever all that was going on.
Yeah.
So I keep up with him with Facebook and give you an update. He is still healing up from the open heart surgery and stuff like that. So we still continue to pray for him and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll try to. Matter of fact, if you're going to be down there for the next one, let us know. We may
I'll be there. I'll for sure be there.
One.
Yeah, it's an excuse for me to get back to Clemson. An excuse for me to hang out with Ace a little bit, get my family back there. Yeah, so see other people. So I get back every year for sure.
Okay,
yeah, so I'll be there.
Hey, me and Big O might have to team up and go and challenge some people out there for that.
And I'm gonna tell you, if y'all are up for it, I don't know how good Jeff is. I can tell you, I am no good. I've got golf. I mean, I've got Clemson golf bag, everything, man. Look, I do it up now.
Right.
I'm gonna do Fred.
I suck at it, but I'm gonna look good at doing it. Okay,
You look the ball.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
And that's half the battle.
Freddie takes 100 balls.
Do what?
What's that?
Freddie takes 100 balls with him.
Look here, man. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, bud.
Right.
But anyway, y'all, it's been great, man. And I know y'all got stuff to get back to and everything else. We do appreciate y'all coming on, and we will be contacting you again. So,
for sure.
And y'all got an open invitation. If y'all decide, hey, I ain't got nothing to do Sunday night, I might just go out and hang out with some guys, man.
Give
us a call. Sure. We'll get you in here.
I got one question. I just have to get this out of the way before we sign off. And this is for Coach and for Big O. And Coach, you don't have to answer this since you're an NBA assistant coach, but who's the GOAT, LeBron or MJ?
Oh, that's not even a question.
Who is it, though? It's definitely a question. Do you have an answer? Yeah.
Are you taking the hard pass here?
Yeah.
Nah, I was waiting for somebody else to say something. But anyway, no, I think it's MJ, hands down.
Thank you.
Hands down. Wow.
Look.
Yeah.
Remember I told y'all earlier, only one thing good came out of North Carolina. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'll say this: LeBron's a great ball player.
But listen, I'm not.
Oh yeah, he's definitely great. It just
I'm
depends
not,
on what era you grew up in.
The only North Carolina thing that you will ever see me own is the MJ pop.
There you go.
Yeah, and the only North Carolina thing you'll see me own is my daughter's diploma she got. That they paid for it because she got a scholarship. Yeah.
There you go, man. There you go.
There you go.
That mess we can burn down. Yeah.
But listen, I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. Like I've been a LeBron fan his whole career, man. I think that. Well, I don't think. I know that the guy's great. Like, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Like from top to bottom, like physically, mentally. I mean, the way he takes care of his body, the things he does on the court, off the court. I think that he's probably, Greg, when we first got in the league, there's not a lot of guys, I think, in today's game that could have lasted when we first got in the league, like late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? And I think that physically and the way that, he plays, I think that he's probably one of those guys that could have lasted and played with us during that time. So hats off to him. And maybe I'm a little biased because I grew up on MJ. But again, not taking anything away from LeBron. The era has changed for sure. But in my opinion, I think MJ is the GOAT for me.
Yeah, I won't say who was the GOAT and which one is better. I definitely have an opinion. But I will say, if LeBron would have came in our era, the rest of the league right now would be in trouble because his physicality, he would have been used to playing against another level. And with his body and his mindset, and then the way they wouldn't be able to touch him now, he would be even better if he would have came in that time. He missed that window a little bit when they started to change it because of the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat of the old, just the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller, and they used to play games that was 73-78 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and so they had to loosen up a little bit. But if he could have played through that and got some of those, a couple years of that, oh man, it would have been ugly for the rest of the league. And it was already ugly, but it would have been super ugly.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
I'd like to see him against Barkley one time.
Barkley, I love Barkley. I've hung out with Barkley.
Me too. I love him.
He's a great dude, but he's just too little and too slow to go against LeBron.
Well, I will tell you that, I told y'all earlier, one of my bucket list items still is to meet Michael Jordan. And I've actually thought about going. I told y'all earlier, I don't watch basketball. NBA basketball. I quit watching NBA basketball really when Michael Jordan finally retired. But I keep up with Clemson guys. That's how I do with NFL, right? I don't watch NFL. I'm usually a Clemson. I keep up with Clemson guys. Yeah. But I have actually thought about going to a Hornets game just to see if there might be a chance that I might run into it.
Yeah, well, you should have did that a couple years ago because he's no longer the owner. He's never around.
He's not.
No, he sold the team 18 months ago or something. Yeah. But you should watch some NBA basketball. You would enjoy it. NBA basketball is a fun game to watch. And again, I'm a little biased because I'm there every night, but you will be entertained. Yeah. If you like basketball, you'll be entertained. The skill level of these kids is off the chart. The things you see every night is crazy. Yeah,
I will start streaming some Milwaukee games. How about that?
I'll
watch some Milwaukee games.
Yeah, go watch the whole league. Don't just say Milwaukee because I want to watch the whole league. There's so many great guys. Great young talent. You be selling yourself short by just watching one team. There's just so many special players in this league.
You forget I'm only a Clemson fan.
Yeah, you don't get to watch Clemson guys in the NBA yet.
A couple more years we'll be watching another.
They're not there,
But y'all, like I said,
a union game where we all can come back to Clemson and play. Yeah.
We keep saying we're going to get off, and then we keep going back in and say, Paul Blackwell commented and said, "Go Tigers," and we appreciate you chiming in, Paul. Look here, man. I can see the rest of the night. I don't know about the other two in this group.
Definitely.
I got to go watch my 49ers. The game started at 7:30.
You're right, man. You're right. And see, that was the whole reason that we tried to do it from 7 to 7:30 was so we didn't have people leaving us to go watch the NFL game at 8 o'clock. But hey, it's great having y'all, man. We can't thank y'all enough. And
all right, fellas, appreciate
if y'all need anything else, let us know.
Talk to y'all soon.
Same here, man.
Thank you, guys.
Go Tigers.
Hey, G, hit me up, man.
Baby. Yeah, for sure, I will.
All right, bro.
All right. Hey, y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Thank you.